Hello, everybody, and welcome to Planet SkyFF, the world where everything revolves around £50,000 or a console of your choice. My name's Suj.
And my name is James. How are you, Suj?
Yeah, just waiting for this console of my choice. From when we decided that I was going to go for May Manager of the Month, thinking, yeah, this is great. It feels like it's like May's forever. It's miles away. So I'm still in limbo when it comes to Sky, like just waiting, really, to get active. I mean, you told me on Sunday to pile into Newcastle because Joe Willock was on the bench.
Please tell me you bought Bruno.
I didn't buy anybody. I was drinking and I saw Willock was a sub, so I thought I better make some moves. But then I was like, I don't know where to go and who for and anything. There was too much thought required. And I still had a few more entry points to get into Newcastle. Well, I've still got time, right, to set my team up for the 1st of May, which is a Sunday, isn't it?
We're going to set you up a new team, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to make 5 transfers tonight.
Why the third team and 5 transfers today?
We're going to do that. Well, you got a setting team with 38 left, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, we use that one. That's fine.
Yeah. I was thinking, I don't think we need to...
The first team, you're making 5 transfers tonight.
The first team.
Yeah.
And I can set a third team up for the first...
you could have 2 stabs at it if you want, yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do. One with 40 transfers and one with 38. But we will make 5 transfers for my team today. So we'll get into my team in a second. You can tell me who I'm going to bin off today. Or do you want to do it now?
Yeah.
Mendy plays. I've got Trent and Salah, who just played yesterday. Bin 'em?
But don't play till Sunday, maybe.
Cancelo? No.
He plays.
Kilman?
Probably captain.
Kilman?
Get rid.
Ben Johnson?
Get rid if you can. It's difficult.
Ward-Prowse stays. I need him for captaincy on
Tomorrow,
Thursday.
yeah.
Willock stays.
Yeah,
You were trying to get me loads of new
I don't think he'll start, mate.
But he did get an assist off the bench.
Yeah, fortuitously. Although it was a great assist, in fairness.
Well, actually, it wasn't a Sky assist. It was only an FPL assist.
I did not get it in Sky. That's really harsh, actually.
Rafinha.
Have you got Gallagher?
Nah.
Keep him.
Saka.
That's probably keep with a Saturday lunchtime game. I think Arsenal will destroy United on Saturday. I've been saying that to a few people since we did the main pod on Monday, and I don't feel any different about it after I watched last night.
Harrison Kane?
You can go.
Okay.
Facilitate.
So Kane, maybe Willock, Salah, Trent. They can all go.
I'd get rid of Kane, Trent, because that's your facilitator for the money.
And Johnson, Kilman.
You're going to go and buy 5 Man City players tonight.
Okay, so Trent, Kane, Kilman, Johnson. Oh, go 4. We'll make 4 transfers. We'll have to make 5.
Just make 5.
Okay.
How many transfers you got left?
20.
Mate, just get 5 Man City players in tonight for today and Saturday, and then bin a few of them off. We don't need to get 5. You got Cancelo, I suppose, maybe.
Yeah, 4.
Right, 4.
Yeah, 4's fine. Okay, now we will do that. How did you go on? Making progress or
no? Gone backwards a bit. I was hanging in okay this week. Went backwards a little bit. I'm at 498. That's despite captaining Mo last night for his 40 points. I've got neither Liverpool, and obviously the majority of others either did have a Trent of Van Dyke or similar, or obviously added to it last night. I didn't. So despite the 40 points, I went backwards last night. Returns this week, not really to be found anywhere. 8 points for Nick Pope on Sunday. 5-pointer for Gabriel at Southampton on Saturday.
8-pointer from Pope. Did he get man of the match?
Saka, of course he did, yeah. You were there, mate.
He pulled off some worldies.
Well, unlike there's a few in the past where he's had man of the matches and you got that's a bit.
Nah,
this was
he kept him in.
It was deserved, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They would have lost if it wasn't.
I don't begrudge that at all. No, you're right.
So yeah, I'm at 70, but I mean 40 of that's from Mo last night, so not great. And intending probably to make a move tonight. I've penciled in to go back to Laporte, but the more I've looked at his ownership, it's about 55% in the top 1,000, and I can see that growing. The more I'm thinking, maybe I should just swing against it, because I may end up moving it on Sunday in any case anyway, because there's certainly a group think building. I managed to catch Fergie and Paul McNulty on Hub yesterday afternoon live, actually. It was a nice rarity for me. And I know Luke and Niall on their show as well, there's been a lot of talk about block Chelsea in terms of steaming into them defensively. But arguably not doing it until Sunday, maybe. Now, I don't have any, so I mean, I could add one tonight, obviously, to give me a little bit of coverage. But I think the real steaming appears to be from Sunday. And there's a few reasons why. Obviously, if you go Chelsea tonight instead of, say you go Rudiger instead of Kane, you've got Rudiger tonight versus Arsenal and Kane versus Brentford Saturday. It was like, maybe wait. And obviously Tottenham don't then play till the following Sunday. So I think Sunday's a good jump off of Tottenham assets. There'll be a few carrying a few Newcastle now. They go to Norwich on Saturday. So you can jump off of them on Sunday. Leicester, Chelsea got a 4-1 in theory. Obviously your assets need to play. 4-1 over Leicester. And I think back to when Ian Parring come on the show with me, and he said he wasn't looking at going on Leicester till right near the end, basically.
Yeah.
And looking at this now, and you think, he's fucking right, wasn't he? This going to Maddison a little bit early and stuff's not done that much for me. And you look at that game, it's 4-1 Chelsea versus Leicester, and the one for Leicester is away to Tottenham, and falls in between their Europa Conference League semi-finals against Roma. So it makes you feel like the team they pick at Tottenham will be more like the team that played at Newcastle rather than the team that might play tonight against Everton. But if you're sitting there with a Leicester asset now, they've got Everton tonight and Villa away Saturday. So I don't think, again, you're not moving that till Sunday. People might have the likes of what you said, James Ward-Prowse, and admittedly he's got a fixture Sunday, but perhaps people are holding him because, I'm captaining him tomorrow night, for example. Perhaps same with Nick Pope. Those two players have fixtures Sundays. I'd be less keen on that. But again, it would be move Sunday rather than move tonight. So I feel like this is the issue for me. I'm miles behind, right? I mean, I can't win the game or anything, but I'd still like to try and have a stab at top 100. If the majority are just going block Chelsea, and I'm just going to follow it, what's it going to do for me? Okay, yeah, it probably is the best move. There's certainly, I think it's worth being aware for those who are nearer the top end of it at the moment. There's a growing groupthink towards moving that, and I think the majority of it will be on Sunday because of the players that people already own.
Okay. I'm not going to go for Chelsea today. I've already got Mendy at the back, who's my safe pick as a goalkeeper. And I can't really pick my Manchester City players until and when we know the team. But Kevin De Bruyne, more than likely, is definitely going to be in amongst it. I'll add another defender to Cancelo, preferably Laporte, because he's cheap as chips. But Stones might be playing. He might be worth a look. Depending on how quickly they want to risk Diaz coming back into the team. But I think Laporte's more than likely. And then maybe even Sterling, maybe even Foden. Sterling I'd quite like to go off because I don't think he's going to have particularly high ownership at all.
So I had a look at a plan for myself on Monday, and that's looking at me Kane to Laporte tonight. I think I need to open up the money. And if I'm looking at that Laporte versus Brighton tonight as the extra fixture over, obviously they both play on Saturday, that's an easier move than Kane to, say, Rudiger or Thiago Silva, Reece James tonight, whatever. So I may still make that move. What I was then looking at was 3 moves on Sunday, which I could just about make work, which is removing Maddison, moving Fabian Schär, and removing Gabriel. I know there's a lot of talk coming off Gabriel, but I tell you what, I bet Gabriel could hit a 10-pointer against Man United on Saturday lunchtime, honestly. So I'd rather leave that till Sunday. So Gabriel, Schär, Maddison to something like James, Rudiger and Mount. I've got the exact money to make that work if I went Kane to Laporte tonight. But then I'm looking at it and going, is it worth me going to Chelsea defensive when I think people are possibly going to end up with more here? And I can't move. I can't go for a third one, say Son, to another one, because then that will leave me in a 5-4-1, which you can't do. So it's not straightforward, and other people might be having similar issues here. I don't want to. I've got Gallagher Monday night. Saka, I think I'd rather hold on to because I don't think Arsenal's fixtures are as bad as they look. You've got United obviously on Saturday. I think they'll well beat Man United. They've got West Ham afterwards, And again,
in the middle of our Europa League,
sandwiched between Europa League semi-finals. Then they finish with Leeds home. Newcastle is that Monday single game day, and then finish with Everton. So I think I'd rather keep an Arsenal asset. So I think Saka's will probably hang around for me, actually. Gallagher I want to keep for Monday, and I actually think Palace's remaining fixtures are decent. I spoke last week about Southampton's good run of fixtures, so I don't particularly want to come off Ward-Prowse. So the decision for me might even be to pile into City tonight and go differently. But certainly those gains are absolutely there for Chelsea. I mean, that's what the majority are going to do. Obviously, when we say there's like a 4-1 over Leicester, for example, it could work out as a 4-0, essentially, if Maddison doesn't start against Tottenham. But then any Chelsea asset you go for, they're going to play 4 times.
Yep.
It's doubtful, isn't it? Their run is obviously Arsenal tonight. You then got West Ham on the Sunday. Manchester United, obviously, now next Thursday is a single game day. So you definitely want something, I think. Unless you're intending to buy Manchester United on the Thursday and take a United asset for their 3 games. Chelsea, Brentford the Monday, and then Brighton the Saturday. And then you'd come off because United would only have 1 fixture left. I know the right play is Chelsea here, I think.
Okay.
But I'm not certain that that's the way I'm going to go.
Yeah, I think it's always a debate that you have, which is if I can't keep up with all of them, is it worth getting any of them and swing completely against it? But I feel like hedging your bets is probably the better move. Like at least cover off 60. You're better off covering off 60 or 70% if they do go off than having 0 and then wherever you decide to go. Because you'll either... You could fall really far behind. I do feel like, yeah, if other people have got 3 and you can only get to 2, it covers you off 66%, doesn't it? Whereas your thought process is, I'm still going to be behind, so maybe I'll just go somewhere else completely.
But then instead, I could look at going Maddison to a Liverpool differential on Sunday, for example, or what I may even look at doing rather than, because I think people are looking at the block defensively, is see if I can work like Mount and Havertz in, for example, and just look at different ways of trying to do it, maybe rather than just going with the
Yeah, I mean, we're at this
defense.
point of the season, you're definitely going to finish in the top 1,000 and you want a top 100 finish, you may as well go for it. There's nothing to lose.
Extremely unlikely to finish top 100. Extremely unlikely.
250?
But then I just feel like, why do I want to follow it? That's all.
Yeah, I get that.
It doesn't feel like much point in me following it. So I might go a different way and look at City tonight and perhaps Liverpool defensive Sunday. Because that's the other thing, right? If someone is going for block Chelsea defensively, let's say they're going with 4. Let's say they're going with, I think there will be quite a bit of a Pope to Mendy movement, I think. Although I think you could still hold Pope to the end of the season, I think. And his ownership's still
high.
It's big, right? I was looking, I think Ramsdale's second most owned keeper, about 8%. But then, for example, all the Ramsdale owners will go to Mendy on Sunday, I would have thought, for example. But if people go and say Mendy, Rudiger, Silva, and perhaps another one, be it Alonso's pretty cheap, might be back in favour, Reece James, then they're not fitting in Cancelo and Laporte and VVD, for example, right? So it's not like, oh my God, Chelsea players have got the fixture advantage, no doubt about it. But then if I go a different route and can force in City, Liverpool, and perhaps an offensive Chelsea player to go against it, then I'm still competing. It's not like I'm dead in. I'm going to City, Liverpool players potentially instead, right? So this is what I need to weigh up. It's possibly a little bit of regret now that I didn't go for VVD last night, but I was looking at it and going that it's VVD versus United, Kane versus Brentford. Do I need to rush this decision? And my conclusion was I didn't need to rush it. I could still make that move Sunday if I wanted to.
Oh man, I was just still talking about last night, and I'm just thinking if you'd have said to Manchester United fans your aggregate score against Liverpool in the league this year will be 9-0, and Liverpool probably won't be going at 100 miles an hour for all of it. They'll take their foot off the gas a bit. They'd have been upset. But story for another day.
Well,
do you want to talk about ownership?
No, just before I want to do, I just want to highlight some numbers. Just trying to get on our good friend Frank's site. Numbers from Liverpool's game last night in terms of passing tiers. There were 7 of them hit passing tiers.
That's mad.
Trent only tier 1. But even like Mane, 49 passes. I mean, that's
loads for a forward.
Exactly. Even Salah, 34. Diaz, 37 is fairly high. Alisson, 51. United's highest was Nemanja
a
Matic,
goalkeeper
33.
being 9 passes off a passing tier.
Yeah, I mean they.
How much was Matic? 33.
Yeah, I was surprised it was that high because
So
I can't remember him making a pass.
So Liverpool's lowest made more passes than Manchester United's highest. Kind of.
Yes.
Almost.
Yeah. Salah made one more than Matic.
That's mad.
Yeah, they absolutely destroyed them.
Wow. We knew it was coming. I'm sure I predicted a 4-0.
In that first half, the level of quality difference between those two teams, sorry to United fans listening, was gargantuan, mate. But as I said to you before we started, imagine United turned up and were as bad as you could imagine United to be, and Liverpool turned up with all the intensity and the quality. I mean, the goals they scored were fantastic goals.
Yeah. Mo Salah is Mo Salah. Fantasy sports god, let's call him, because it's in every single format, mate.
I think there is a case to sell him on Sunday.
Sure,
because he can be your part of your facilitator to
Chelsea.
I mean,
this game's
like
very
that.
different because you hop on, hop back off and stuff, and you don't lose value. So I can understand that.
What's interesting is if you look at you said you wanted to talk about ownership a little bit. If you look at the ownership of the forwards at the moment, there's only three forwards in the game. It's Kane, Salah, and Son. So Kane and Salah have got massive ownership, and Son's on 44.5%. Now, none of them are likely to go up in ownership. Obviously, Salah plays Sunday, so there might be some that comes back to Salah. But I think because of that, because Salah plays Sunday, and it's the psychological, the last thing I saw is Mo Salah going off, and he could have got more last night. He's the one that stays. Kane and Son on Sunday become expendable. But if you're going to move both of them, then you can't go 5 at the back. So you then move into 5 in midfield. So it's not straightforward. That's how I might end up, is like 4-5-1 possibly with just Salah up front. And what do we always say about the midfielders in this? But then if I'm going to punt differential and I want to go maybe even look at people like Mount, Havertz, Luis Diaz, and look at some differences in terms of going about it a different way, I think. And that's worth considering for those who want to punt it different, I'd say.
The midfield is the place to look.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about captaincy between now and the next week. So tonight, are you going to go with a City player depending on who's in the team? Like Cancelo is number one choice, is he?
If Cancelo's in the team, and I see no reason why he won't be, I will be going with Cancelo tonight. Obviously, you've got the Chelsea players to compete against. I wonder if those who have gone for Bruno Guimaraes might just keep going with it.
Oof.
I think there might be something psychological that tempts people that have gone for Leicester assets who are thinking, I've not had a lot out of this, but I think that the sensible call tonight would be Cancelo. We often say this,
especially because they're behind Liverpool now.
We often say this, right? There are days where you can fight against, and there are days where you shouldn't. And I think it's City or Chelsea tonight. If you want to fight against City tonight, fight with it with Chelsea, I think.
Tomorrow, I only own James Ward-Prowse in the Burnley Southampton game, so I'm just going to go with James Ward-Prowse.
That's fine. I've got Ward-Prowse and Pope, and again, it's similar thing. I'm thinking I should just go against, but that doesn't feel right. I go Pope. If Ward-Prowse does well, it's still going to be a nice differential for me. So I will almost definitely go Nick Pope tomorrow night. It's influenced on the ownership. I'll be honest, I don't expect returns for either, is what I'd add to that.
Man City Watford on Saturday seems to be the standout fixture. City again, potentially. I don't know, you could swim again, like Spurs away at Brentford.
The thing is, Cancelo's suspended for that Champions League semi-final first leg, isn't he?
He's likely to play again.
It's no way it's not Cancelo for me, Saturday. I've been more confident about Cancelo Saturday than I am tonight.
But you'll see the team tonight, so you can move it around.
Yes,
so it's even
true.
better.
Obviously, look, you've got Kane and Son can obviously compete against that at the weekend. And obviously, again, if you're punting different, I don't know, like if you're going Kevin De Bruyne tonight, for example, I think if you go that way, you'll feel obliged to want to be going on and captaining that player. But yeah, Cancelo for Saturday is definite for me.
If you're willing to go against Mo Salah on Sunday, you're a braver man than me. Everton at home.
Yeah.
If they've done that to Manchester United, I mean, Everton, as much as that, I think they're going to stay up. That's still the derby, still at home, and they're still going to be like at the moment they've just leapfrogged Man City, but City win their next two and go back above them. So this will be Liverpool to come back up. I think a Salah for me comfortably on Sunday.
Yeah, the only thing I'd add to that is I think there will be some that will doubt if he'll play because they've got Villarreal on Wednesday. But I just think that Liverpool's surge towards the title was massive. They've obviously got a 5-day gap in between these United-Everton fixtures. We know in terms of fitness, he likes to work on a traffic light system in terms of the availability of his players. As long as they're not in the orange or red zone, basically that's how particularly he works with Salah, I think. Unless they're in the orange or red zone, like he wouldn't have the fear to say, right, do I need to save him for Wednesday? Because I think he'd look at it at the moment and go, he plays Sunday, and if for some reason the coaches, the physios, the doctors, whatever, say, look, he's in the orange zone, he's at risk, then he won't start on the Wednesday. Because now it's different as well. Look at Diaz. He is unbelievable.
It was just like all the goals. The thing with Liverpool is when they score a lot of goals, and basically the forwards get them all, which is nice. The forwards in the football sense, not fantasy sports sense, because they're classified as midfielders and forwards everywhere. But literally, if you see Liverpool has scored, the chances are it's one of Diaz, Mane, Jota or Salah is involved in some way.
They're only going to play 3 of them 4.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, the state of it now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good though because just double up or triple up.
I mean, we've been in a position. I think since Diaz come in, I think most of us been thinking he's going to take Mane's spot. Jota's been so good in front of goal this season, and you look at it last night and you go, Mane is now playing like the Firmino false 9 role, and you're going, hang on a minute. I spoke with Dan, our Liverpool correspondent, about this in the summer about trying to get an evolution from Liverpool in terms of like how do they go next to progress, and we kind of said one of the things was either to bring in youth or to create greater competition for the starting 11. How many times this time last year, for example, would we have gone, I tell you what, they're in trouble without Firmino because of the way he links to midfield and forwards, and now you got Mane doing it last night. Like I mean, that Firmino's 5th choice.
Yeah, it's mad.
What a joke.
Palace Leeds on Monday. I only own Rafinha, so it'll be Rafinha for me unless something happens and I need to make a transfer.
Yeah, it'd be Conor Gallagher for myself, obviously, and I intend to hold Gallagher through to the end. And just a note for Palace, like actually over the next 10 game days, I've got them top of the ticker actually over the next 10 game days. So I really think go back and invest if you haven't got him. He's a facilitator. He's 7.3 or so. So they've obviously got Newcastle tonight, Leeds Monday. I think I'd wait till Monday if you're going to go back. Then they've got Southampton the Saturday, Watford the Saturday after. So you can just get in. There's a little bit of a 3-for-1 for Palace players there over a few teams. Not too many, but over a couple of teams. I'd go back and I'd chain it off or either keep because have they got an extra fixture 37? They have, haven't they? They've got Everton away on the final Thursday, haven't they?
Yeah.
So I mean, Gallagher for me, stay and run through, I think, personally. So I'd go back and invest. Just a note on that, I would definitely go to Gallagher. If you're looking to go to Palace defensive, that's fine. But when you really want the passing tier from them, I think will be Monday night. And despite the change of manager, people still aren't hitting passing tiers against Leeds.
Right.
So I would still go into Gallagher.
Man United, Chelsea next week, Thursday. It's quite a way away. Let's just assume...
Let's just say Chelsea player.
Yeah. It's a Chelsea player. Let's wait and see on the lineup, but we'll all probably have at least one that we can go to.
What would you say to people, and obviously Ronaldo's situation is really difficult. I don't know if he's going to want to play or not going to play. It's completely understandable if he doesn't. He's only about 3% owned or so at the moment. I think he's like the 4th most owned forward, and it's ridiculous how template that front line is at the moment. If he's not going to play, then he's obviously an easy sell for you, I think. What would you say to Bruno owners at the moment who've gone in?
Done.
Still sell him?
Yeah, done.
I think it's a keep, isn't it? Reluctantly. It's a keep. Just from a fixture, it's a keep.
What?
Even though I don't see enough. I'm now thinking of selling him in FPL. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
but not back to Salah, just to facilitate Chelsea players.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Some of these things linger around too long. And Manchester United in such a bad way. Who have they got coming up? Arsenal, followed by Chelsea. What are you keeping him for?
Maybe the single game day captaincy
Just
against
in
Brentford.
case. Oh, fine. Go and buy Christian Norgard. It's cheap as shit.
I mean, there is that, yeah.
Just he's a great facilitator. There's better options. If I get to a point where I see players performing so badly and teams performing so badly, I couldn't care less like what the fixtures are or what the narrative is. They're just not good enough for right now for fantasy. And he's there, Bruno.
I'll tell you how to sum it up on United.
Salah scored more points yesterday in one game than Bruno in the last 3, and even if you captain Bruno for all 3 of those games, he's got 2. What's that? 6. Double that up. 8. 6. That's 12. Salah scored 19 in one game, mate.
Can I just point out that Bruno got booked last night?
Did he?
Actually, he has hit a couple of tiers in Sky recently.
In Sky, he might have done. Salah's hit a couple of goals and an assist, and a few tiers.
I have penciled in for that Monday night fixture now to buy Tony or Norgard rather than a Manchester United player.
Okay.
I think that says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, Manchester United have had it, mate. I'm not interested in if people want to keep Bruno, keep him. But it's not for me.
If you had him, I'd keep him. There's no way I'd buy him now.
No. There's no way you'd buy anyone from Manchester United.
Certainly not this weekend. Maybe this time next week we'll look at it again because honestly, there will be a case to buy a Manchester United player next Thursday or the Monday afterwards. So we will look at it again next week. I genuinely, if you've bought Bruno Fernandes, if it was me, I'd suffer it because I would think that is going to save me at least one transfer. So I'd suffer it.
Should we answer some of these questions that we had on Twitter?
Yes, sir.
If we haven't already answered them, I'm going to go top to bottom, just because Ian Parron sits at the top and he's a ledge. What's your estimate of what these transfers remaining figures will look like on Friday, and probably more importantly, next Friday? And he's screenshotted the top 10 is 4.8, top 100 is 6.1, top 1,000 is 6.7, and the top Suj is 20. So we're at 5 and 6, let's say. Do you think it's going to be down to as little as 3?
Yes. I think Sunday's going to be
2.5 to 3.
I think Sunday is going to be big play moves for Chelsea or Liverpool assets. I think the majority will be Chelsea, but I think those who were waiting on Liverpool, like I might have been and may still be, was going to be wait till this Sunday, and it might be that I'll pile into Liverpool instead of Chelsea. So I think there'll be a lot of moves Sunday. I mean, at the moment, I'm penciling in the first choice plan for me is to buy 3 Chelsea players on Sunday. So that'll take me down to 5. I think others will be looking for at least 3 Chelsea. So I think yes, 2.5 to 3.
So Dave Simplegoal wants to know,
which is dangerous.
In the last 3 weeks, where he can look to get the most gains, and when we're looking to get gains the most. And you mentioned everyone's steaming into Chelsea. Is it a case of trying?
Is that Dave Perrin's answer?
Yeah.
Well, Dave's position is really difficult because he's right near the top, right? So, I mean, first thing is good luck, mate. Keep doing what you're doing and stuff.
Yes,
please. In Dave's case, I have no idea how many transfers Dave's got left, but if he's got a good number left, I would probably go with the Chelsea herd. If he's short, I'd probably go against it.
Okay. Rob says, is Manchester United versus Brentford worth skipping with regards to captaincy now? Both teams with very few games left, and better to captain a Chelsea player versus United. So we've talked about this, the fact that we both prefer Brentford over Manchester United. But then is there any case for then keeping that Brentford player till the end of the season? The likes of Norgard are just such good value that if he enables you some more powerful players elsewhere,
what I was thinking, Norgard's a great facilitator, and I feel like Norgard this year has been my Stuart Dallas. In terms, and it was worse last year with Dallas. It was just like looking at it week after week. He's returned again, and then it was like, I think I went on for a bit, and then I came off, and then he scored twice at Man City, didn't he? And it was like, what is this? This is incredible. And when you get a good, and I think this is a really good lesson for Sky, when you got a really, really brilliant enabler like that, they go in, they stay in, you forget them. It's a little bit like
Make it a 10-player game or a 9-player game.
When Ian came on a couple of weeks ago and we were talking about, obviously, Jacob Ramsey's ownership had really shot up. Now, Ramsey doesn't have the guarantee of tiers like Norgard does with his tackling. But great facilitator. Villa got extra fixtures left. Why are you going to move that around when he's still in the team? You're not. Stay with it. Just ignore it. You've got 10 other players, basically. And I look back in hindsight and think Norgard should have just sat in that team all season long. Was he 6.2?
Cheap.
He gets like 5 tackles every week. It's absolutely brilliant. Should have just sat there. But the reason I look at Tony as an option for that Monday night is it's United. And yes, you're right, they don't have extra fixtures. But at that point, they actually will have an extra fixture over a couple. And their final 3 fixtures are Southampton at home, Everton away, and Leeds at home. And there might be differential forward returns there in Ivan Toney. And it might be, I go, right, well, I'm going to punt this as different. What's the point in me going into Norgard? If I go into Norgard, it's because I need to facilitate the other stuff at this point. Yes, do you know what? He'll probably get me 8 or 10 points at Old Trafford. But I think actually probably in the final 4, Tony will probably outscore him.
FPL Canal is looking to make up 89 points and wants to know when's the right time to gamble. I mean, we look at game days rather than weeks in Sky, and there can't be more than like 15, 16 days left in total.
Oh, you're testing me now, Suj.
Just saying roughly.
17.
17 days, right? And let's say a differential captain's worth an additional 15 points to you, like if they go off and someone else doesn't. Well, you need their 6. So you want every other third day a differential captain to be going off to really make up some mad ground.
But if you hit the Ferran Torres 50...
Yeah, so, I mean, the answer's now, right? The answer's you've got to go for it. 17 days. Think about it from that point of view. For 17 days left, how many of those days do you need to be making 10, 15, 20 points?
I think you got to pick your battles. So there are certain ones. Obviously, the single game days, you can't really pick your battles. In terms of, say, like Burnley, Southampton tomorrow night, you probably don't have 2 options. You probably have 1 option. So you go with whatever option you've got. You've probably got Nick Pope. You just go with it, right? And you forget about it. In terms of where you can go against, look, tonight. Do you look at tonight and go, I really fancy Chelsea for a clean sheet. I'm going to back Rudiger over Cancelo or something. You know, with Brighton have won their last 2 away games. It's one where you can argue to fight against. Once everyone else has clocked that say Cancelo doesn't play tonight, it'd be so popular Saturday. But then do you look at that and the opposite and then go, well, actually, I do fancy Kane or Son away to Brentford. I'll go with them. So I think there are certain ones you can pick your battles. And that's obviously getting more difficult the longer the season goes on. But there are certain ones. I mean, say City's game with Wolves doesn't go on the Thursday at the end. Say it goes on the Wednesday night, Wednesday the 11th, rather than Thursday the 19th. And that Wolves City fixture is only going to be one of them 2 nights. And to be honest, myself and Ian have got a slight favouritism towards game week 36. So that Wednesday the 11th. I think Ben Crellin's got a slight favouritism for Thursday 19th. But the honest answer is none of us are overly confident about which way it's going to go. It will be one or the other, and it's up to Sky what they do with it. But that Thursday at the end, so if you don't fancy Chelsea at home to Leicester that night, and then you're looking at Villa at home to Burnley. So, I mean, there's certainly going to be a case coming up to invest in Villa. The problem with Villa is the entry point is the Liverpool game Tuesday the 10th. But I think for those, and not this week, but those who walk into perhaps an injury, say in the forthcoming weeks, where on a Thursday it's like, oh, he's going to be out for the weekend. Say the kind of the Adam Webster scenario, it's like, oh shit, I need to bin him. Then Villa should be looked at the right potential entry point. Because we've got some good fixtures left. They've still got to play Norwich on Saturday the 30th. They go to Leicester this weekend. So, I mean, you could consider it, but I just think the priorities are elsewhere this week. They've got to play Burnley twice. They've got Palace at home. There's some decent fixtures in there for Villa. They do finish away to Man City. But again, if you're looking for something different, you can fight battles. Villa at home to Burnley. Can you punt Coutinho that night, for example, if you have him or are going to have him? Ollie Watkins, something different.
Joe wants to know if it's worth selling Kane over Son.
Sane and Con.
Sane and Con.
Sane and the Con. Sane and the Con.
Is it worth selling Kane over Son for the extra money that it generates? Yeah. Okay.
That's my opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
I think most won't because the ownership's scary, is my fit. But honestly, I won't name the person, but I was having a discussion with one of our patrons who was discussing about selling Son last night. And my advice was, look, obviously to like a Liverpool defensive player, my advice was wait for Sunday. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, look, you're looking at it, it's Kane or Son versus Brentford and Liverpool at home to Manchester United. And if you go back in hindsight, I did think it would be a 10-pointer for a Liverpool defensive asset, but I still felt it was worth waiting and having a bit more information. Who knows? I think it was close enough that you wait that little bit longer and you've got the information. Perhaps another player gets injured or you change your opinion changes. But I said I'd sell Kane rather than Son. At the moment, they're close enough that I don't feel like Kane's justifying the volume of money over Son. Plus, Kane had one shot on target in the last 4, we said.
Yep.
And we always say judge him on the shot volume. Now, I think there's circumstance and reason for that. And what Kane's blank, we were talking about him only last week. The weekend was his first blank since Burnley away, that midweek night or something. He's been getting off shot tiers regularly until the last couple. So it could easily come back. But I just think that saving of money at the moment is probably worth moving on. Well, I don't want to move Sonny. And the reason I don't really want to move Sonny is because what's to come further down the line. So I think I'd still want to keep one of them. So you've got Tottenham at home to Leicester Sunday the 1st. I think that's very competitive against, say, Chelsea away to Everton. I think it's close. But if Leicester are going to rock up with an understrength team, I'd fancy Sonny. Then further on, you've obviously got the North London Derby as a single game day on the Thursday. I think you want one of them for that. On Sunday the 15th, Tottenham obviously host Burnley. Now, we know obviously Manchester City are going to play at West Ham that day. But obviously Chelsea aren't going to play that day. Liverpool aren't going to play that day. So if you want alternatives to City, it's still going to be one of the Tottenham guys. And then arguably the final day, it's a crapshoot. But Tottenham away to Norwich is very competitive to... if Sonny's down to 20% ownership then on the final day, that's the sort of person I probably want to captain.
Yep, sounds good. We've got Shaderby wants to know who the best Palace defender to go for is going to be on, assuming Monday.
I spoke about it. I think Gahey.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it specifically with the Leeds game in mind, I think there's a strong case to go with Tyreek Mitchell.
Okay. He had a knock the other day, didn't he? Is he all right?
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah, fine. So, Tyreek Mitchell.
Tyreek Mitchell will almost definitely pick up tackle tiers in that game.
Okay.
Whereas the passing guys probably won't pick up the passing tiers. But do I think Mitchell outscores probably Gahey or Anderson for the rest of the season? Probably not. But then if you've got the extra in the captaincy, it'd be close. I'd arguably go Mitchell. I think he'll be one we talk about in the summer. Because he's not the sort... He's been really under the radar this year. And I don't think he'll get a big price hike. And I think he's the sort of one could sit there consistently next year.
Okay. We've got another question coming in from FF Thinker, who wants a midfield punt between now and the end of the season. And he's listed 3 players, and Diaz, Foden and Mount.
Yeah, all good. Havertz I'd throw into the conversation.
Yeah, Diaz is an interesting one, just because... maybe they want to save Jota. I think Jota, Mane, Salah still probably first choice.
I'm not sure it is after what I watched last night. Mane was so good.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly.
To pick. So Diaz will get league minutes, I reckon, with Champions League.
You didn't watch it. You haven't seen Mane's assist, have you?
No. I'm going to watch the highlights.
It's one of the passes of the season.
Yeah. Liverpool.
Get on it. They're so good.
So good. I mean, I was in a WhatsApp group. I'm still in this WhatsApp group, and 3/4 of the way, halfway through the second half, a message popped up. A Liverpool fan in there, and he was like, "It appears the ref is feeling sorry for Man United as well because he's not even giving fouls when we get pushed over." I was like, "Fucking Liverpool fans, you'll find anything to moan about. You're about to win 4 trophies in one season, which is more than my club's won in the last 100 years. Like, quit fucking moaning about being pushed over, you bastards." So good, Liverpool at the moment.
Class.
Hate them.
Look, at the moment, if we remove, we don't need to remove Jacob Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey is 50% owned. The only midfielder more than that is Saka. So I think you're looking in the right area for your differentials and your punts, no doubt about that. But it means even people like Gallagher, 42% owned and stuff. Like, do you see that increasing massively Monday? Do you see Rafinha, 10% Rafinha? Do you see that increasing massively Monday?
No. just because
James
people have
Ward-Prowse 14%. Do people move tomorrow night?
people have fewer transfers, and so they're going to prioritise the bigger clubs and,
I
and the
agree.
bigger moves.
I agree.
Just we've got a few questions that I kind of haven't asked, but lump them together. People always ask, like, who's the best differential for this? Who's the best punt for this? Who's the best punt for that? And it's really difficult to kind of say go with this or go with that, because people need to manage their own teams, and we don't really want to be spoon feeding, and especially when it comes to punts and differentials, because that's the time when, go a bit rogue, like play your own game, especially. But you mentioned ffstuff.co.uk as well. So let me ask it a different way. If people are looking to find differentials, what would you look at? So low ownership, ability to get tiers, fixtures, and historic, and all of that is kind of, you can look on a lot of sites, but FF Stuff's particularly good for Sky detail, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, brilliant site, and great bloke as well. I think we speak a lot with Sky in terms of staying with the pack. You don't want to lose out, fix with a template, think like Paul McNulty's strategy in terms of generally wanting wherever possible the highest owned captain and stuff. And look, Paul's 50th or so at the moment. He's having a brilliant season again. It works for him and stuff. Now's the time where that sort of thing goes out the window, I think. So particularly, again, if you're worried that if you go to block Chelsea that you're possibly just chasing everybody else, then forget tiers. Go something else. What's there to say? I mean, take Trent versus Van Dyke, right? Perfect case. Similar price. Mm-hmm. And how many times do I say, I always seem to end up on the wrong side of Trent in Sky. It's like, if I have him, the passing tiers don't seem to be there and the attacking returns dry up. And as soon as I don't, he turns into what he is on his best day, which is one of the best fullbacks on the planet. But between now and the end of the season, over a short period like this, what's to say Van Dijk's not going to score 3 goals from set pieces or something, right? What's to say Trent's not going to assist in every game and make up for the small shortfall in passing tiers and stuff, right? Go either way, can't it?
Yeah.
So I think that the whole tiering idea goes a little out the window a bit at the moment. So, I mean, Mount versus Havertz would be another one. Well, really, that just comes down, who do you think scoring more? Quite honestly, who do you think scoring more over the next 4 or 5 weeks? Do you want to chain move it on? I think, like, we're in the running now. The tiering of it is less important, because you could have a centre back scores twice in one game, right? Fuck the tiering. It's out the window, isn't it?
Fair play. Listeners, hope you enjoyed this episode of Fantasy Sky FF. Of course, wherever you're listening to this podcast, hit the like button or subscribe or follow or thumbs up or whatever it may be, because all of that kind of helps get the content seen by more people. And if you do want to join our Slack community, where we do have some Sky prize leagues and all sorts of stuff like that, as well as a very active community, patreon.com/planetfpl. Why not come and have a look? Anything else to add?
Clash of Correspondents tomorrow is Manchester United versus Chelsea with Gary Robinson and Ted Moore, and I don't know how Gary's going to turn up for this, so it's probably going to be must-watch TV, I think.
Gary's a top guy.
Or must-listen-to audio.
And not only is Gary a top guy, he's been a Man United, like he's been through thin and thick and thin. He's been a fan for a long time.
Oh, he's been through a lot of thin. He's been lucky.
Yeah, so go easy on him.
I'll go easy on him. I don't know if he'll go easy on United.
Yeah, fair play. He's very, very honest and knowledgeable about his club as well. So do stay tuned for that tomorrow. On Friday, James and I will be reviewing all of the midweek games, including yesterday's Liverpool 4, Manchester United 0, and getting ourselves set up for game week 34 FPL. Stay safe, look after yourselves, and ciao for now.
Thanks, everyone. Play it your way. Good luck. Cue music, please, man, child.